those will be part of my podcast. What I talk right now, the contents of this will be made into a series of blog posts. I will expand, I will collate these blog posts together, I will expand, I will publish a small ebook. These are things that I will do. And those are 3 things. And Rajesh Sethi, my mentor, says, if you have 3 things, 3 reasons why you want to do it, it will give you enough motivation for you to go and actually do it. So think of the 3 stool, think of a stool before you do any task. Great life lesson. My next one is, you will listen to CK's talk right after this. Take the effort, each one of you, take the effort to go meet up with people who are now living a second life. CK had a heart attack, right, CK? And you went through how many bypass surgeries was this? This is 3 blocks. Near death experience. I make it a point to go meet up with people who've been there, because I've seen enough people who have really transformed their life. Their priorities in life have absolutely changed. And I think it's important for you to actually do that. Consciously go meet up with people. Second, consciously surround yourself with successful, inspired people around you. Be it friends here, be it friends outside, take the effort, go and surround yourself. For me, the motivation out there, believe it or not, what will happen is it will rub off on you. Even without you noticing it, it will rub off on you. Which is why I take the effort to organize events like TEDx Chennai. What a fantastic journey it has been for me. Just meeting, going through people, selecting the speakers, selecting, even curating the audience. Oh, everything was a brilliant experience. Now, as an ambassador for TEDx all over India, I get to do it even bigger. I do an event called Celebrate, bringing great people together, spending time for 3 days. I do a show called Kiruba.tv, very egoistically named, but I document conversations, life lessons from people. And I crowdsource questions. It's extreme, and to me, I've seen a difference in my own life, in my own career, in my own life pattern. So that's another important thing that I've learned. How many of you have bucket lists here? That's about 25%, less than 25%. A bucket list or a list of things, typically about maybe 10 things that you want to do before you die. And these are what are called big, hairy, audacious goals. Really, really big. I want to be a millionaire before I turn 30. Really, actually, very, very large. I want to get a Ferrari. Big goals. It's absolutely important for you to fix those, to have a bucket list. Most of us have maybe short-term goals around, and we're all good. New Year resolutions, that's what we do. Incidentally, I've realized that New Year resolutions are nothing but your to-do list for the January 1st week. We all have this, but I think it's also important for you to really have this to-do goals. And I'm also a believer that if you do not measure, if you do not metric what you're doing, you don't know where you're screwing up. And so that's another important thing. A bucket list, if you don't have, really put it down as to the 10 things that you want to do. Not the 10 things that your heart truly wants to do. You truly believe from inside. You should get that warmth. You should get those shivers in your body as you think through that goal and visualize yourself. Those are things that you should definitely do. Next is another story that I've told my daughters, and I'll still continue to tell them, is the story of the woodcutter and the axe. Do you know the story? What is the story? Would someone want to tell? I think there's many versions, many types of story, but let me tell you this. I haven't heard this before. So there was this woodcutter who goes to a village searching for a job. So he goes to a timber shop and gets himself a job as a woodcutter. He goes to the forest, chops 10 trees the first day, gets back. The owner is thrilled. Man, you really are a strong guy. You can do 10 trees in one day. And he comes back the next day, the trees become 7, 4, and 3. And he, and obviously the owner is disappointed. So the guy goes to the owner, the woodcutter goes to the owner, boss, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm working even more harder, but I don't know, I just can't seem to cut enough trees. And the guy asked, did you sharpen your axe? Quite honestly, whether you believe it or not, we are being that stupid woodcutter. Each one of us. Even if you don't agree, but really, each one of us are really being that stupid woodcutter. I think there's a time that we truly must take some time off. Truly must take some time off. And spend time for it. If you have to backpack and travel around the world, do it. If you have to go and do the things that you truly enjoy doing, take a month and a half, and actually go and do it. Note this guy's name, Stefan Sagermeister, and watch his TED Talk. Stefan Sagermeister, and he is given probably one of the best TED Talks that I've heard. And he talks about the power of taking time off. He runs a creative agency in New York. Every 3 years, he takes 1 year off and goes and does things that he truly loves. And he says every time he comes back from the break, he does more business. Every time he comes back from a break, he does more business. He goes to Thailand, he does pottery, he does all the things that he did. That's another important thing, is sharpen your axe. Have you done that? I want you to show this video. Have you loaded up this video? Yeah. For me, ever since I met Siddharth, I'll tell you how I met Siddharth. On Facebook, a friend of mine called R.V. Rajan, who heads Anugraha Madison advertising agency, and he's really called the father of rural advertising. Fantastic guy. One of these days, you should really invite him to give a talk. Great guy. So in his Facebook page, there was this short video. In his Facebook page was a short video. It was about 1.5 minute video where it was about Siddharth. And this video was actually made by by your friend, right? You and your friend got together and did this short video. And it really talks about how he goes and meets Dr. Kalam. So it has a few pictures. It adds out there. It's also a video where he actually thanks his dad and mom. It's a very touching video, really. And I remember I saw this video, and the minute after that, I go to his Facebook page, find his phone number, and I give him a call, saying that I'd like to meet up with you. There was also the time my daughter was launching her second book. I said, you know what, Sid, I want you to come and launch the book and speak at the event. He had people eating out of his hand. I invited him to TEDx Chennai, and in his own words, Sid says that's been a turning point. And ever since, he kind of gets a little inundated with speaking opportunity. And that's also the reason why he came and spoke here at Latitude. But let me tell you this: if that 1.5 minute video was not there, I don't think none of us would have had the privilege of listening to Sid. I think it's extremely important for us to tell our stories. Extremely important for us to share our views, our opinions. I told you this the last time, I'm going to say this to you again.